Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful delicate snowflake. I'm going to use a 4mm crochet hook and double knit yarn, but you can choose different types if you want to just get a bigger or smaller snowflake. I'm starting with chain 4, so you can also start your work with a magic circle if you prefer. We're going to start with a slip knot and chain 4, and we will make a little chain circle to work into. So once you've done your chain 4, we're going to slip stitch into the very first chain you made, and that makes a little tiny teeny circle that we will start working our first round into. It might be a bit hard to see, so you might want to put a stitch marker in that circle so you won't lose it. Start with chain 3, and that chain 3 counts as your double crochet stitch. Then we have to make another chain 3, and now we're making a double crochet into that circle we created. So yarn over, go into the circle, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's your double crochet stitch. Then chain 3 again and make another double crochet into the same space. So as you're making your stitches into this little circle, it will get a little bit bigger and it's easier to see. Chain 3 and make another double crochet into the same space. Then chain 3 again and another double crochet stitch into the same space. This is what we will be repeating now, making a chain 3 and then double crochet into that center circle until we have made 6 double crochet stitches. We're then making a chain 3 and closing the round with a slip stitch into the third chain we made originally. So that was our first double crochet, and I just find the top of that chain and slip stitch into that chain, and that is your round 1 completed. We are now going to start our round 2, and we start this by making a chain 5, and after you've done your chain 5 you're going to slip stitch into the same stitch where you started from. Make a slip stitch there and then chain 7, and after you have done your chain 7 we are going to skip this 3 stitches and go into slip stitch into the top of the double crochet stitch. So again, starting this repeat now, going to chain 5 and slip stitch into the same stitch, to the same space where you came out from with your chain 5, and then chain 7, and after you've done your chain 7 you're going to skip these 3 chains, that 3 chain space, and you're going to slip stitch on the top of that double crochet stitch. And this is a repeat for this round, so you're going to make a chain 5 and slip stitch into the same space, and then after that you're going to make chain 7 and skip that chain 3 space and slip stitch into the next double crochet stitch, and keep going all the way around until you get back to where you started from. But before you're making the final chain 7, just stop and I'll show you how to finish this round. We have now got to the place where we would make our final chain 7, but instead of doing chain 7 we're going to do something different. We're going to chain 3 and then we're going to make a treble crochet into that very first space we started from. So yarn over twice and go into that space and yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And this way we end our round in the middle of chain 7 space, which is where we want to be for the next round to start. Next round we start with chain 3 and we're going to slip stitch into the same chain 7 space we started from, and then we're going to follow this by another chain 3. We're now going to slip stitch into the chain 5 space right next to it, and then going to chain 3 again, slip stitch into the same space. After that we're going to chain 3 and slip stitch into chain 7 space, and then chain 3 again and slip stitch into the same space. And this is what you will be doing for this final round all the way around. So it's chain 3 and slip stitch followed by chain 3 and slip stitch into the same space. This final round creates the edging for your snowflake, so just keep repeating it, making chain 3 and slip stitch into next chain space, and then chain 3 and slip stitch into the same space where you already are at. And when we finish, we're just doing our final chain 3 and slip stitching into the very first space we started from. Now you can fast enough and cut your yarn and get your yarn needle and sew in the ends. You will notice that your snowflake is not completely flat as you're making it. This snowflake will need blocking. You can use water or starch spray or glue to block your snowflake. Just cover it with whatever you choose to use, and then pin it down, do the shape and leave it to dry 24 hours, and your snowflake is ready.